Hey there everybody, Mazrock here, and today we are talking Guardian Druid news! Oh wait, there is none. I guess we're going to be talking about Protection Warrior today, guys! But first, before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe. I am flabbergasted by all the support. We are barreling towards 4K subs. Thank you, everybody. If you want to discuss anything here into further depths, you can always join the Discord channel. It's filled with absolutely wonderful people. There is a Twitch link down below if you want to see a grown bearded man stream in a Charmander onesie. There is our current sub goal is just that. And of course, I can't do this without the love of my patrons. Thank you so much for your support, and let's get into it. So Protection Warrior has seen a couple of different nerfs in the class tree and in the spec tree as well as some general abilities. The Wrenching Impact pull towards your Heroic Leap ability is gone, and it doesn't look like there's going to be a choice node there to replace it, so it's just going to be Bounding Stride. I'm pretty much okay with this, because at a minute and a half, it was really only useful for Sanguine weeks, because a minute and a half Heroic Leap feels terrible. I've already said this before, but whatever. But the main thing that we're talking about Prot Warrior today is the rage economy should be reduced a small amount. They fixed a bug with Unbreakable Will. Revenge was nerfed down from 53% to 45%, which is totally fair. Revenge is still overperforming. We're seeing a nerf to Thunderlord. So each enemy hit by Thunderclap reduces the remaining cooldown of Demo Shout by 1 second for up to 3 seconds, and it was 4 seconds before. This is fine. I mean, they're trying to bring this more in line, right? Booming Voice Rage Generation is now 30, was 40. Champion Bulwark, which is the ability that increases your rage generation from Shield Charge, now grants 20 bonus rage, was 30. Violent Outburst now causes Shield Slam and Thunderclap to generate 50% additional rage rather than 30 and 10 additional rage. Now, this here, with the way this wording is here, we're going to have to see how this kind of plays out, because there is quite a few abilities that affect Shield Slam's rage generation. So if it affects all of those abilities as well, this could actually end up being a little bit of a buff and making Violent Outbursts a little bit better. But if it doesn't, then this could be a nerf. There's still some math and stuff to go through here, but all in all, I mean, it's not a really massive change. Impenetrable Wall now grants 3 Shield Slam 3 extra rage, was 5. Heavy Rep now grants Shield Slam 2 extra rage, was 3. Really small nerfs here. Champion Bulwark no longer consumes a charge of Shield Block or resets Shield Block's cooldown, which I think this was a bug fix. Not working as intended. Dance of Death now applies to your current Ravager and any future Ravager cast within the next 2 minutes. This is big. I've been saying this on beta, and holy jeez, Ravager slaps, man. Ravager slaps hard. It feels good to press this button. Blood Surge, chance to grant rage reduced to 15%, was 20, and Bloodborne's damage bonus granted to bleeds now 10%, was 15. And that's per point, right? So you're going to be able to increase your bleed damage by 20% with the 2 points. Which, in all honesty, so now it looks like with the tuning of this, now, first things first, I actually do want to talk about something that doesn't get mentioned anywhere near enough. The dev that has been doing Prot Warrior needs, a commendation or something. The nerfs have been on point. The class and the spec tree design have been on point. And oh my god. I know being a Blizzard dev, especially for class design, has got to be a thankless job. If you, any chance at all that the Blizzard dev is watching this, thank you so much from, a lifelong Prot Warrior fan. But there is some changes going on in the class tree as well that I do want to mention, although there's nothing really huge here. Nothing huge, but there is still some things that we gotta talk about. Seismic Reverberation and Barbaric Training is just changes to the DPS spec, so we're gonna leave that out of the discussion. Thunderous Words is one of the talents that you can take to increase the bonus damage to bleeds. That was 20%, and it's now 15. Very small, very fine. These are ways that they're bringing in Prot Warrior a little bit more in line. Avatar generates 10 rage, was 15. That's fine. Heroic Throw. now has a cooldown of 1 second. Oh, thank you. I didn't realize how much I actually pressed this button in dungeons until it was a 3-second cooldown and I was hitting it. I'm like, I want this button. I don't have anything for range. Please give me this button back. Like, I need this button back. Titanic Throw now has a cooldown of 3 seconds for protection. Arms and Fury, whatever. Wrenching Impact has been removed. We discussed that already. Shockwaves, base damage has been increased by 50%. This is... I've already discussed, like, the hill they want to die on, and they are dead set on keeping Shockwave as a capstone, which, whatever. I'm not going to deny how good Shockwave can actually be in Mythic Plus for Prot Warrior, especially because the point above it to go down only requires 1 point, where all the others require 2. It does actually make it a pretty easy grab, but there is, like, the balance of... Like, I'm not hitting Shockwave to do damage. I'm hitting Shockwave to stop things. The damage is irrelevant. But the moment that Shockwave deals enough damage where you want to use it for damage, it now feels bad to hold it because you want to stop something, because you want to hit it, because Big Boom occurs, right? And this is where this, like, weird teeter-totter balance is coming in, and it just kind of feels weird. Right now, I think Shockwave is in a decent spot in the capstone tree, if that's the way they're absolutely dead set on keeping it, because the talent above it only requires 1 point. If the talent above it required 2 points, I would probably be much more unhappy with its current situation. But right now, it's a fairly easy grab. All you have to do is, like, so instead of taking the 2 talents for Thunderous Roar, you can opt out of one of them, of your choice, and go into Shockwave and still have the points to get your avatar and your upgraded avatar. You have a Thunderous Roar that you can bring down to 1 minute. You can still get the one-handed specialization. You can still get a lot of things, which is really, really nice. So whatever. And the reason this video is coming up today and not like the day after this was released is because with these Rage nerfs, I wanted to see how Prot Warrior felt in dungeons, right? Because currently, before this took place, I mean, it felt like you just had infinite amounts of rage. You really did. It was like having banner up all the time and then some. And I will admit, I mean, as fun as that is, it will get old because, a tank shouldn't just have infinite resources. This is a game of skill, and you should be able to, put some skill into your class to play it right. And what this did is it just brought it in line. These nerfs are insanely well targeted, small enough where it's noticeable if you're playing incorrectly, but if you're playing with this in mind and you're watching your rage and you're watching your resources and you're choosing between the Ignore Pain and the Revenge and those things, it really works out, actually. Like, honestly, I never felt rage-starved, aside from, like, once where I went to go hit something, and I'm like, oh, crap, I was probably spamming Ignore Pain and Revenge a little bit too hard here, where I should have just probably slowed it down for 2-3 seconds and kind of thought about where I'm going to be putting my next global, and that is actually good gameplay and good game design. I don't have a problem with this at all. If you saw these nerfs and you were worried that Prot Warrior was really kind of being brought down too much, don't worry about it at all. Prot Warrior still feels absolutely fantastic to play. The nerf to Revenge actually brought it down. So with the upgrades, it brought it down to be in line with Thunderclap. In the 3 dungeons that I did, there was less or equal damage between 1%. So, like, one dungean, Revenge did like 19% of my damage, and Thunderclap did 18. The other one was like 18. I think both of the, like, one I had 18.1 and 18.1. So that feels really, really good because you want a lot of buttons to do damage instead of just spamming one. Right, because this has been a problem with Shadowlands because your biggest damage dealer, aside from Shield Slam, has been Revenge, and not by a small amount, right? In AoE, it's like Revenge is literally all your damage in Shadowlands. Thunderclap hits like a wet noodle. It's not fun. This allows you more ways to kind of work Thunderclap into your rotation with Show of Force, Revenge, Thunderclap, Revenge, Thunderclap, Revenge, Thunderclap while you're an avatar. All of these things feel really, really good and fluid with the spec. And I'm really, with this, I'm even more excited because, like, I don't want to be an overpowered tank. Like, do Dude, I just came from an expansion where I've been maining Prot Warrior for however long Shadowlands has been around. What is it, like an eternity now? Whatever. And it's felt bad. This feels good. This still feels like it requires, skill to play, but isn't so difficult. Like, it's not like the skill ceiling is all the way up here and you have to get your gameplay up there. There's still some times where bad players can be punished for bad gameplay, but it's not like the easiest thing in the world to do. It's not like, every pull a new player is going to be like, oh man, I screwed this up. Oh man, I screwed this up, right? Like, if you're looking at iterations of Protection Warrior, Banner Warrior now is 2 to 3 times harder than Dragonflight Warrior seems like it's going to be, which is really, really good. So with that, I'm going to kind of leave that there. I'm really, really happy with how Prot Warrior is looking and shaping up. I just kind of wanted to give you guys an update because you guys know how much I love Prot Warrior. But aside from that, you guys have yourselves a good day. Have any questions for me? Leave it down in the comment section below. Are you guys still excited for Prot Warrior as much as I am? Have yourselves a good day and happy tanking.